Okay, here's your motivation. You're lost. You're angry in the woods, and no one here is here to help you. There's a witch, and she keeps leaving shit outside your door. There's no one here to help you. She left little trinkets. You took one of them. She ran after us. There's no one here to help you. We walked for 15 hours today. We ended up in the same place.
Maybe you can hum the theme song. Won't hold it against you if you get parts wrong. While the memory's not too strong, there's a piece of you from a time long gone. So while these fuzzy warm feelings remain, question we ask is still the same. Is it a treasure or just plain lame? Is this still good?
Hi, howdy. Welcome back to Is This Still Good, a podcast about removing nostalgia goggles and dusting off childhood treasures. Will they sell on the open market? Gavin, will they sell on the open market?
God, I hope so in this economy.
I'm Sage.
I'm Gavin.
And we do a podcast.
Accurate.
What do you want to talk about today, Gavin?
Do I want to talk about today? Well,
yeah.
Okay. I think we were going to cover 1999's The Blair Witch Project.
Why do you always ask these as questions?
1999, as you've been talking about, is a big year.
Where's the book?
We've been doing a lot of movies from it.
Yeah, that's right. We just recorded an episode of 1999.
Yeah. Excelsior.
Who's that giggling over there, Gavin?
Well, today we brought in, I'm going to call him a Blair Witch Project expert, and he's going to look at me like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No.
I did see you at the Blair Witch Convention giving a keynote.
It's such a dick.
We have writer-director Jeremy joining us. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I have to ask before we go further, is that you singing the theme song?
That is me singing the theme
It's
song.
pretty good, man.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
It was take 2, I think, maybe 3. Could have done a few more, maybe would have gotten better, but I'm pretty proud of it so far.
Yeah, Wolves of Glendale said no, so we made Gavin do it.
Honestly, if they, I don't know why they'd be listening to this, but if they want to do a cover, yeah, let's do it.
If anyone wants to do covers of our songs and send it, that reminds me, quick business item. We are coming up on our 100th episode at some point in the future. I haven't actually done the math to know definitively when it's coming out, but we're planning something kind of special for that. But what we'd love from you, the people listening to this right now,
if you would do the math.
If you would make a spreadsheet and count things for us like the bigger podcasts, they just have people who write in and make spreadsheets. No, we just want some feedback, and if it's interesting feedback, maybe we'll read it on the episode. I don't know. Maybe we won't. I'm making no promises.
Maybe we'll take it to heart. Maybe we'll print it out and stomp on it and spit on it and bury it in the backyard.
Yeah, your feedback might still be good. It might be better as a memory, or we may not read it at all. But feedback is important, and also like, rate, and subscribe.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm fine being needy this far into the podcast.
Fair enough.
But we need to talk about Blair Witch.
The Blair Witch Project, to be clear. Blair Witch I don't think has come out yet. I think it's coming soon.
Are we doing this already? I feel like it's okay to colloquially refer to this as Blair Witch.
All right, fine. For the purposes of this podcast, we'll be referring to this movie as Blair Witch.
I don't think the remake sequel that stealth launched a couple years ago means anything and has any cultural staying power.
Damn, harsh words.
I'd literally forgotten about it until you said it just now.
That's fair.
I didn't even know there was a relaunch until
yeah.
This is news to me.
No, whenever I look up the Blair Witch series, there's 3 films, and let's be real, there's 1 film in this franchise.
I've never seen the others. I feel the same. There's
Oh
one.
my
There's
God.
one. How could there be more?
So I watched Blair Wick. Blair Wick. All right, I've got my reboots.
I mean, I want to see the log line for that.
Don't set her off. I watched Blair Witch Book of Shadows, the sequel, long before I ever watched this film.
Wait, really?
Oh, no.
Yes. This was something at an overnight thing we did in middle school, or maybe even 6th grade or something, which was basically me, 2 of my friends, and 2 of just the grossest men I've ever met in my life. Boys, I should clarify, they were also boys in this story.
Are they okay?
They're men now, or they're dead. They may have died in high school.
Are these different ages? Were you hanging out with
Maybe 1 year older or something.
Okay.
But we watched Blair Witch Book of Shadows specifically because they wanted to show the younger kids a nude witch. And we also watched a bunch of CKY movies, 3 or 4 of them, just in a row. So it was just here's a topless witch, and also here's a lot of skateboarders just pooping on things.
Yeah. That was a whole franchise for a while. I remember I listened to Sum 41, and one of their albums came with a DVD that I left over at a friend's house, and his parents found the DVD, saw what was on it, which included Sum 41 throwing poop on people's doors. He got grounded for that.
Jeremy, did you have this on your Still Good bingo?
I did not. This is taking a turn. I am so glad I never experienced the Sum 41 throwing poop on people's doors.
I mean,
being either like
other than
watching
that,
it
they're
or
great.
being a recipient. It seems unpleasant and fucking weird. What?
I mean, it was the era.
It was the 90s.
Yeah.
No, it was the mid-2000s.
Was this before or after Jackass?
After.
Okay, so they're trying to take it up a notch.
Well, because
Because Jackass was gross, but they're not like throwing shit at random people's houses.
well,
Or was it?
Were they not?
Was it
I
at
don't
like a person walking down the street, or just like
no,
front
it was
door?
like they're in a hotel on tour.
They're throwing shit at hotel doors?
in Ziploc bags. It was, we don't need to go too far into this.
It's just kidding. We seem to be getting a little off topic.
Yeah, it was
Depending on how you felt about the movie.
I think in many ways we'll be talking around this movie a lot.
It's a breezy little movie, so there's a lot of room for
It is a breezy.
our imaginations.
That's true.
One of the things we do a lot on the show is focusing on where we were in time when this movie came out and like how it reacts to us, which is why I bring up Book of Shadows. Notably, Book of Shadows is, you guys may not know this, not a found footage movie. It's just a normal ass movie.
Did not know that.
And it came out the next year. So
What?
they fast-tracked a Blair Witch movie that just has nothing of what makes the Blair Witch Project special, which, if this is probably one of the few episodes you could listen to blind without seeing the Blair Witch Project. But the most notable thing about it is a found footage horror movie, and it is arguably the first found footage horror movie, or certainly something that launched an entire genre.
Popularized, if nothing else.
Popularized.
Mhm.
I think it's the pivotal one. It's
Sure.
the seminal like found footage film.
Right into Sage's personal Instagram
Yeah.
if you have beef with that.
I mean, obviously, Spinal Tap, which we covered, is also a found footage horror film. Obviously.
But this one goes to 12. It also doesn't show the witch. Just to spoil that out the gate, like the fact that this seems like an Evil Dead thing where it's like part of the rules are you shouldn't turn around and see what's behind that camera. I don't know. That sounds gross, and I understand why I've never heard about the Book of Shadows until I looked on the Wikipedia.
It stars Jeffrey Donovan, which I did not remember. That's a
Who's that?
Burn Notice.
Yeah.
And like
Never seen it.
now
So
just in a bunch of Clint
directly
Eastwood
connected
movies.
to Evil Dead.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. It's 2 degrees from Evil Dead.
Real quick, then, when did you first see the Blair Witch?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay.
2 days ago. But it feels like a movie I've always seen.
Mhm.
I'm still not sure. I may have watched Blair Witch Project at some point. A lot of found footage movies do somewhat blend together for me,
Sure.
for better, for worse. But more relevantly, the iconography of Blair Witch
Yeah.
really seeps into everything else.
It has certainly
Yeah.
infiltrated the culture heavily. I know watching the Scary Movie series, which was, I think, a little bit more age appropriate for me, has a direct send up of the crying directly into the camera with one eye showing and tears turning into snot,
yeah.
I believe.
A lot of snot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Scary Movie's a franchise I need to go back to just now that I have more experience with the things that they're mocking. I think that's probably true with a lot of spoof movies.
Yeah, for better or worse, Scary Movie has
Yeah.
probably ruined. For worse.
Sure.
Scary Movie has ruined several horror franchises for me because I made the mistake of watching it before I saw The Ring.
Oh, that's such a bummer.
I'm trying to think of others, but it's just, part of growing up in a spoof-filled household of like Naked Guns, airplanes, hot shots, and
Yeah.
I mean, some of those are great, but yeah, no, I would have taken maybe seeing The Ring for the first time first.
If I were to think of the Scary Movie spoofs,
I'm just
like that's one
thankful.
that like I don't want. Like there's things,
Yeah.
they're coming out of the TV like that. I want to see that first time in the movie, not
7 days.
Yeah, like-
conversation not being quite as scary because you've already heard it spoofed.
Yeah.
I'm glad I saw Scream first because that is
Sure.
one of my dearest and favorite
Sure.
movies.
The original Scary Movie.
Yeah. I
You talked about this in another podcast I was listening to.
yeah.
I didn't realize that's what it was originally called. Scary Movie, Scream. That's what you said on, I believe, the
I'd
Lost
take
Boys
past
episode.
ourselves. We don't usually lie on this podcast outright.
Not without an agenda.
But yeah, no, I've seen an unfortunate amount of spoofs of Scream that like is already a spoof. So,
Sure.
But anyway, yeah, I also saw the Blair Witch Project probably yesterday for the first time.
Wow. Look at
So-
you.
So that means none of us have seen this movie before. It's a weird podcast.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I saw it for the second time a couple days ago. The only
Okay.
other time I'd ever seen.
You've never, have you felt compelled to revisit it? Or
No. I saw it in the theater, and that's why I'm here. It was an experience. First of all, we need to back up on your expert Blair Witch bullshit. Like, I got backed into this deal. Okay, like I'm not advocating for this movie.
Peering
If
back
you
the
like it,
curtain.
you like it. I'm here because I'm older than you guys, and I saw it in the theater, and that's basically what happened.
That's
You're
weird
here
because I just got a list of movies to pick from, and I thought this was the most interesting one to talk about.
Yeah, I did give you a list, but I'm just saying, like,
all right, this
the
is
reason
my fault.
why.
We can peel back the curtain as far back as you guys want.
Well, I mean,
I've been curious to see this movie for a while.
Okay. You did say, hey, something that what I liked about your podcast is the idea of it had an impact on you, whether that was good or bad or just an experience that stuck with you. And this movie certainly did, and that's why I'm here.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so 1999, I'm a teenager. I'm smoking a lot of weed, just doing it. And we hear this, and remember, this is like before the internet was really the internet. Before, I mean, I barely had a cell phone. I don't even know if I had a cell phone. Like, to be honest with you, like I'm dating myself, but that's the way it is. And
I mean, I didn't have a cell phone back then either.
well, I would hope not. You're like 10, like although 10-year-olds now, I mean, thing.
I did have an iPad, yeah.
Yeah. So this was like something going viral before like viral was a thing, right? The only thing I can maybe like compare it to was The Spirit of Christmas. Like that was a VHS tape that went around.
Wait, what's The Spirit of Christmas?
Oh my God, really?
I don't know what this is.
This is what originated South Park. They made a
Oh,
movie.
okay, yeah,
Like
yeah.
what would Brian Boitano do? You know?
Yeah.
So that was a VHS that went around, and somehow like a friend had it, and we watched it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? This is amazing. Like, and then, so that's the only thing I can maybe compare it to as far as like my first experience with something going viral. I'm using the dick fingers here, like the quotes.
Never heard them
You,
referred to
you
as
just
dick
referred
fingers.
to air quotes as dick fingers?
I got that from Jon Stewart. I cannot lie. Like it made me laugh. It stuck with me.
That doesn't explain it to me.
Yeah, because usually someone's like, really? And they do
Oh,
they have the dick fingers. They're being a dick. So anyway,
Our one non-video podcast.
I know, right? I'm sorry. So yeah, it was one of these things that like we just heard about it. I don't even know how, but there were people throwing up in theaters. They're handing out barf bags. Like it was
Some real William Castle shit.
yeah, there's supposedly this is like found footage. It's legitimate. These people, went out to find a witch. Did they die? We don't know. Oh, wait, no, we did know because they posted obituaries for them. And the
Yeah.
obituaries were the same names of the actual actors. They went by their real names to help with this marketing. It was just kind of brilliant when you think from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah.
And so, we're young, we're high. We're not, when you're a teenager, you're an idiot. And if you're not an idiot, you didn't really experience being a teenager. Sorry. But we all wanted to believe.
Doesn't count.
I think that's the most important part, though, is that you wanted to believe.
We wanted
That's
to
the
believe. We're
fun.
all trying to
Yeah,
X-Files this shit. Like
Hey,
we
wait a
all
minute.
wanted to believe. So we go in the movie theater thinking, like, this is real. Let's watch this. This is crazy. And the movie starts and it just has that paragraph that says, I don't remember what it says. You could probably read it, but
Dramatic reinterpretation here, yeah.
yeah. It's like so-and-so, their footage was found, they were doing a documentary. That's it. There's no credits. We're like, oh fuck, this is real. Let's watch this. And we get into it and we're watching and they're interviewing people. None of it feels like acting. And I stand by that today. Like I watched it again and the interviews that they're doing for the documentary feel legit to me. Like those are some really good fucking actors because
Yeah.
especially that little kid, like trying to get his mom to shut up.
Oh,
What the hell? This
amazing.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this
No.
is real. And then we get to a point in the movie that we'll talk about later where I'm like, oh, this shit is not real.
Well, no, here's the fun thing about the Blair Witch Project is it is real. I couldn't commit to doing a bit of person who didn't know that Blair Witch Project was a fake movie. I really tried to workshop it and just like I could have it fall apart in 5 minutes or I could just acknowledge it at the front. But the opening of Blair Witch Project in October of 1994, 3 student filmmakers disappeared in the woods near Burkittsville, Maryland, while shooting a documentary called The Blair Witch Project. A year later, their footage was found. Look, I couldn't think of a synonym for project.
The Blair Witch vehicle.
The Blair Witch franchise starter.
Yeah.
Untitled Blair Witch experiment.
I like that one. Working title.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was going to bug me if I didn't.
It feels like, real quick, we should maybe summarize this movie, but it already feels like it's been summarized. It's one of those weird ones where the plot's so threadbare.
Yeah, I mean, these kids, they
the
want to make a
woods.
documentary about a witch, and they interview some townsfolk, and they go to the woods, and then, I mean, weird shit happens. They lose a friend. They find a friend. They all
find a friend?
They all die. Like,
The real Blair Witch is the friends we made along the way.
they re-find their friend, and they die.
Jeremy, you fucking nailed that. That is by far our fastest. That was even faster. I was prepared to do this one. Usually we pivot to Gavin on that.
Sorry, I didn't know.
No, that's
great,
better than I
fantastic
do.
work.
It's just like the longer version of that is basically they interview a bunch of people, gather mythology, go to the woods, immediately gets lost, start losing friends, and they die. They get lost so fast. They
do
go
get
to the
lost.
woods and then they're lost.
I mean, the suspension of disbelief of them not having an iPhone to guide them through these woods, and GPS locations.
Couldn't make Blair Witch Project today.
You couldn't, though. Like,
This
and
was
that's
already
what's-
a period piece when it came out in 1999.
It 100% is, and that's why at the time it was what it was, and that's why I think it does. I don't know if it I know we talk about this later. Does it still hold up? Whatever.
Why would you bring that
up? It was just an experience, and it's something that I'm never gonna forget. Like, that movie going experience was fucking. There were people in standing room.
Wow.
Like, I've never experienced that in a theater in my life.
What
it
is
was
that?
crazy.
Like a Ryanair flight?
Yeah, exactly. They had to pay for the restroom. It was crazy. No, but but no, I went to a theater, and it was
where was the theater that you went to?
it was in Eugene,
Okay.
Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
take
so-
us back to 1999, Eugene, Oregon.
That's also like the most 90s place to ever exist.
It kind of is. I mean, look, we had the
It still is, yeah.
best weed, you guys. Like, it was incredible. And so that was pretty much 1999 Eugene, Oregon was basically just a bunch of people wearing flip-flops and shorts and t-shirts when it's raining with no umbrellas and not giving a shit because they're high in a cloud of weed and everyone's getting a contact. That was it. Right? It was amazing. And I don't remember a lot of it because of this. Like, I don't know who I
It's a
went.
little cloudy.
Yeah, I just well played. I don't remember who I saw it with, but I remember going, and it was an old theater that had like a balcony, and there were people literally standing behind the back seats by the doors because they I don't know if they sold tickets for that or they're just like, come on in, man, check it out. Like, everyone's high.
They all
It's
bought
great.
tickets for a different movie and just walked in. A lot of them were underage.
Probably. Yeah. But it was cool. It was a cool experience. And it was one of those things that, like, you have certain movie experiences that you remember, and it's why you like going to the theater. And I think this movie did that, not just for me, but for a lot of people. And so for that reason, no matter how I tell you how I feel about it at the end of this, I will respect this movie and appreciate it for what it was.
I think that's very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I respect the hell out of this movie.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a love-hate relationship with it because I'm not a found footage fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it launched a million found footage movies that are mostly dog shit. And
Yeah.
and I'm stuck getting to watch them every once in a while because somebody wants to watch it. I'm hanging out with them.
Well, now that you've been marked as the Blair Witch Project expert, I'm sure that will. No one.
It's only gonna.
That's the title of the third movie.
It happens in this room.
What was this movie rated? I'm trying to
I
figure
think
that
it
out.
was R.
Was
right?
it R?
They say fuck like 800 times in this movie,
That is
Gavin.
one of the trappings of improv, especially.
They do. Can we talk about how good they were at improv? Like, I gotta say, for me, I think Josh was fucking phenomenal.
Well,
I-
he seems to be the one who had the most of a career afterwards.
well,
Which
he
Well,
also-
everyone from this movie is really famous, Gavin.
You mean dead? I thought you were going to say dead.
Yeah, that's why they're famous.
No, but I mean, his arc though, like, he goes from like, oh, cool, man, I'm just that guy, and then he's like the voice of reason when the other two are fighting, and then he
Yeah.
like fucking loses it on her. And it's like, what's your motivation? This is your motivation.
That is
I'm like, this is
Horrifying,
such
yeah,
a great
That's probably
scene.
what I'm going to open the episode with. That
He's
line.
also, and then he disappears. He's not
Yeah.
in the last third
Yeah.
of this movie.
Oh, I didn't notice when they just spent 20 minutes yelling Josh over and over. Fun fact, Josh is the only character from this movie whose name I remember.
There's Chris
No, it's
and Heather.
Yeah, but I
Mike
just
and
looked
Heather.
them up. Like
Mike and Heather.
Mike and Heather. What is Mike if not a Chris?
Well, and so to peel back that curtain a
Interchangeable.
little bit, like, because I do find the production of this also very interesting. I think I think the production is actually not as important as the marketing for this movie. I think the marketing is the true mark of genius in a lot of ways,
Mm-hmm.
and it came out of what the production was and the story writing, and like specifically, you also mentioned the internet. Like this was an early internet web page that had
Exactly.
all the which isn't in the movie, but like very jarring is seeing the laid out like tools, the recovered items on a like police sketch table or whatever. You
Right.
see like the camera, which I actually did I did a music video that was basically
Ooh.
ripping this off, and it similarly opens up. We're doing true mystery, so it opens up with somebody giving a cheesy monologue about how this band went missing, and then all that we recovered was their camera.
Okay.
And then the music video of
Oh,
them
yeah, I remember
having
that.
out and getting haunted. Yeah, Spooky Mansion. Look it up. It's a good time. But the production of this was 8 days, and those interviews of the townsfolk were mostly just the actors interviewing random townsfolk.
See, that's what's so amazing. Because and you could tell that they weren't real actors, but like
Yeah. Some
they're
of them
also
are
kind of
planted.
like, how are you
Some of them are planted, but some of them are just real townsfolk.
like the mom? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like when she turns, she's like, it's real. Like, dude, I
She's
believe
so
you.
good.
I
Yeah,
100% believe you. Like, yeah. it
Yeah,
was-
absolutely.
And
Everyone
that kid is perfect. Yeah.
So, having worked on a lot of documentaries, including ones that are kind of like Vernon, Florida style, just getting stand-ups of people in their local community. We did a documentary called Pow Wow out in Palm Springs that was very much, he just wanted to do Vernon, Florida, but for Palm Springs. And everyone just automatically performs in some capacity when they're on camera.
Yeah.
I feel like the real trick is making them feel like they're not performing for a camera, but like everyone is automatically a slightly separate person. I mean, that's true for all of us.
100%.
Yeah.
Even this microphone right now. Right? Like
Yeah,
you just feel like you have to, maybe it's just a matter of projecting, but whatever, you don't feel 100% yourself. And that's what was so astonishing about those townsfolk that I'm just like, that's why. And that added to everyone's like, yeah, maybe this shit is real. I mean, we're also really high.
That is the
You know?
part of the movie that really, I really wish I'd been high for this movie. I had
You
an
should
entire
have.
thing of soju, but next time I watch it, I'm like, oh, this would be so fun. It was already kind of fun, but it would have gotten me through the parts of the movie that are just Josh.
Well,
Josh, I'm gonna make that as a little soundboard button for future podcasts. Josh.
I like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
well, and the weirder part of it is once they get into the woods, the way this is directed is closer to what Tropic Thunder was pitching,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
where the actors were by themselves, it sounded like. The directors were not on location with them for these 8 days. They left film canister drops for the actors to find
Oh.
with like food, tapes and whatnot to
Oh,
record
my.
with, and like snippets of direction or a place to go towards, because this was planned as an entirely improv film. The actors all signed on for an improvised feature, and at a certain point, like, it's really weird to think about the ownership of this project with that in mind, because I know part of the aftermath of this too is that the actors felt underpaid and felt like they were being just underpaid, underqualified. They weren't able to take work similarly for a year to hold up the marketing end
Oh.
of it as well.
Yeah.
And they did wind up suing and
Right.
got some money.
Yeah.
But like they really did so much more than just act it. Like, and I'd argue almost so much more than just improv it.
I mean,
Josh was casted because he knew how to work a camera. Was
oh.
part of it. Like, he was the one who knew more than the other two in terms of how to use the cameras. And they wound up with 20 hours of footage that then they cut down to and I think reshoots only accounted for a bunch of alternate endings that didn't get used.
Good.
And one very important backstory, which was the 1940s serial killer. That is
What the serial? Oh, the old.
Oh, that's a
the
reshoot
hermit?
of just like
Yeah.
why they're out there. Yeah, that was good lore.
It's good. It made the which didn't click for me immediately, but the ending of him standing in the corner, because of that.
Yes.
And that actually, him standing in the corner was done before the backstory.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which fascinating.
Yeah, that's one of those times where revisiting is really helpful and not just diluting what you had, making it better. I will say, yeah, as far as them, I mean, I knew that they weren't interacting with them, and like, I'm pretty sure, like when they put the shit in front of their tents, like they didn't know that was there, and that was just them reacting. They didn't know that was coming. Correct.
That's why I don't know. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Well, look, the lore from the movie moves into the lore from behind the movie.
Yeah.
I that's what I thought, and maybe I'm wrong, but if it was, it just kind of adds to the ethos of the film, and also just those three actors being basically the filmmakers, right? They're the writers, the directors, the cinematographers.
That is pretty wild.
It's kind of nuts.
The credited directors, whose names are Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, referred to their role as safely torturing the actors.
Yeah,
Was there
That's
and
fair.
then editing it in post. So I would assume that probably it was them. I know at one moment when she is running in the middle of the woods, waving the camera around, and we never see anything, which is, I think, probably the best choice in this movie.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. And
Look, if the shark was working, it wouldn't have been as good, right? Like it's the same principle here.
they did have the production designer or someone else was out there in the woods running, trying to get away, and they were all dressed in white and probably would have shown up if they camera got them.
So that shot, I will die on this hill, is one of the greatest shots in a horror movie I've ever seen. That and the last shot. But unfortunately for you guys, you saw the last shot remastered. Now in the theater, I don't know if it was a shitty projector or if it was just, dark because that's how it was before they remastered it. But like him standing in the corner, you do not see, you see it for half the time you see it now.
Oh, interesting.
And you don't even really see them fall.
Mm-hmm.
Like her fall, right? It kind of goes to black as they're kind of and like, wait, what did I just see? Holy fuck. Whoa. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those moments where like when I watched it the other day, I'm like, oh, it's not as impactful. That's a bummer. And maybe it was the weed. I don't know. Like,
Well, it's also like having watched all the movies that this influenced now, going back, my biggest takeaway from Blair Witch was I was so surprised there were just no jump scares in that like entire movie.
Yeah.
I mean, unless just like the camera getting knocked down does kind of. There's some scary things in the movie for sure, but the idea that you're watching it, there's not just like branches rustling in the background or like just things happening that the camera person's not aware of.
Yeah, nothing ever touches their tent physically, which I was.
That's not true.
For the whole time.
The kids, remember the kids laughing, and that's the thing too. Is like that scared the crap out of me in the theater. But when I watched it on TV the other day, I'm like, I don't have like surround sound and shit when I was watching this because I'm just watching it for the podcast, and you couldn't really hear the kids laughing as much.
I didn't notice.
There's like kids giggling in the background.
There's some
and
fun
like,
sound design elements.
You're
in
like,
this for
what
sure.
the hell? And then they come and they're like, hey, and they hit the tent. And you're just like, oh my God, this is fucking creepy. And then they run out. And so that scene in general is so good.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. But when you're in the theater and you hear all these sounds, you're a sound guy. Like it's going to be way better than my TV.
I was also really curious about like, for me, the High 8 and the Super 16. I watched this on Canopy, and I'm not sure how good or bad their streaming quality.
We all watched it on Canopy because it's free.
Canopy.
Brought to you by
your local library.
US
Ask
Gov.
them about Canopy today.
Hell yeah.
I would love to get sponsored by my library.
But like, how did that? Do you remember that and feeling different in the theater? Like
What?
the Super 16 and the
Everything was not as clear.
Okay.
Like everything was darker and which added to the vibe, like when I watched it the other day, like the Super 16 was super clear. And I was like, oh wow, I don't remember it being this clear. This seems interesting. I will say the part where they find like the little stick figures that is, that's kind of cool. Cause I can see it better, but, no, overall, it had more of a vignette on it, like everything did, and it kind of felt more spooky.
The choice of, I remember actually like being confused visually when I was watching it at the Coffin Rock thing.
Yeah.
Where they tell that horrifying story. and you watch her being interviewed, I guess, against The Rock, and the
Mhm.
exposure is such that it's just her and
The
a black
Rock's in
void.
this?
And I'm just like, where is she? Is this nighttime? Oh no, she's just in front of a rock.
Right. Yeah.
But they're actors. I guess.
Yeah,
I get
they're
it.
not filmmakers.
They're not filmmakers. And
I asked that question. We spend so much of our careers just faking. Like a lot of point of view camera shots in movies that we've done are faked. It is the DP doing it, and everything is supposed to be controlled so that you can change it later. This is true for the amount of commercials I've done that are quote unquote shot on iPhone, but are actually an Alexa or a Red on essentially with the sensor on its side.
Yep.
That's what radicalized me. But to hear that it's just like, no, this is just what it's actually like if it's just an onboard camera and someone who has a good idea of framing doing the actual filming.
Well, and they're having to expose film too,
Yeah.
which isn't the easiest thing in the world. It's not that hard, but you have to know what you're doing, and you can't check it.
no, and I think that added to the vibe of it feeling real was when Josh, after they shot that crazy lady Mary something,
Yeah.
and he's talking about like the distance he didn't account for, and the camera's like, I really think I fucked up on that Mary shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, this adds to making it feel
No,
legitimate to me. Like it was great. And he's like, I've only used this like once, and she's
once or twice. Yeah.
yeah,
The conversation about metric and imperial.
exactly.
Measure. You're
Yeah,
just like, yeah, this is some nerdy shit.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, apparently everything except for that interview that I mentioned earlier, the backstory of the serial killer, was shot by the actors. That's the only thing that the credited DP, I
okay.
think, actually was there to shoot.
All right.
I'm sure he trained the actors and probably encouraged them to shoot it.
Nah.
I'm going to choose to give him that credit. I don't know.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
I don't get paid enough for this. Don't worry, we mark these and delete them.
Okay. Should we talk about the turn where I'm like in the theater and I'm like, doesn't matter how much wafts of weed is in the air. I'm like, shit isn't real.
What was your, we got to you being in the theater, but I don't think I heard what your full experience was like and what you were like walking out of it with your friends.
Walking out with my friends, we were just like, that was fucking crazy. That was really good. And it was funny because, like I said, so I'm watching it, interviews, feels legit. He's having the conversation about metric versus imperial. This feels legit. The mom, like everything feels real. And then we have the scene with Mike where everything goes to shit and he starts laughing. It's a horrible, sorry, Mike, it was a horrible acting job. And the reason why is because I think this was forced on you in some capacity and it just didn't work. But he's like, I kicked the map into the river. And I'm like, that is ridiculous. He would not do that. The shit's not real. He's acting.
Yeah.
And that was the moment where I was like, fuck this movie. You had me believing I'm like X-filing this shit. And then now I can't. But literally 10 minutes later, they got me back in. And I still didn't believe it was real, but they got me back in and invested. And I'm watching it. And I'm like, this is just a good movie and I'm enjoying it. And it ended, I thought like that scene at the end was great.
Pretty haunting.
Yeah.
For the first time anyone doing that, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
I hate to put an asterisk next to so many of the things I love about this movie.
That's okay.
I know that's almost my role in the podcast at this point, but
I'm curious with that note. Like, I wonder. I would be curious to look at what the actual, like the plotting of this and what the directions were. That'd be fun if that came out in a book or something.
Yeah, because it wasn't necessary. You could just lose the fucking map. Problem solved.
I wonder if like one of the days they were told the map's gone, and then the next day they were told what happened to it. So I wonder if Mike even knew that he was the one who got rid of the map at a certain point. Some of it was told like too. They wrote down instructions, which I thought was interesting, that were like, whoever's reading it was kind of like a hidden identity game where they'd be like, if you read this first, this is your character.
That's legit.
I believe that
Again, the lore behind the lore.
Yeah.
Right?
So my understanding is that like whoever opened the thing would also get their own private directions, and they were kind of giving it out to the rest of the cast. So, which is very much like we play some board games where, you set off a trap and then you have to go in the other room. It's very.
This is the panic room before, or the escape room before the escape room.
Yeah.
We're learning that the Blair Witch started so many things, you guys.
taking hints from D&D and whatnot.
Important.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's how they made it.
it's
That's
a really
cool.
interesting. There's so many interesting experiments and things that are paying off in this movie. I do just like, and to be clear, the actors, at least currently, are all happy to have done it, I think, and talk about it kindly and like. But it is a bummer with the asterisks of them feeling underrepresented and having to sue. And it's such a bummer. That's such a common thing. And like things that I love is there's just lawsuits afterwards.
It made a shit ton of money, right?
Yeah, it was. Let me find those numbers really quick. The budget was, I believe,
60K or something.
60K.
Yeah.
Around 750 with marketing and post production.
That's every number you just told me is insane. If you told me this movie cost $60,000, I'd say how. And if you told me, and then they spent $700,000 on marketing, I'd say why.
But you
Well,
say
the
why,
why
but then my
is-
story is why.
No, I mean
Right?
this is
Like,
a huge success story for that.
I would
This
say
is-
yes, your story is why, but also the reason why is the 250 million that they made.
Yeah, no, this
Right,
is
yeah.
actually the most Paranormal Activity might have a bigger like multiplier next to it, but that's it. Like, there's no movies that are more successful compared to how much they cost.
Well, and Paranormal Activity has a very
Yeah.
similar. I mean, obviously,
That's even smaller. No one gets lost in the woods. I think
It's
that
like
movie was like
Lost in the House.
$8,000.
And
or
that's
something.
the only other movie of found footage where I think they kind of got away with it at first of people thinking it might be real. Because it was just like a nanny cam or something.
Well, and it's such a fun one to. It uses the technology well.
They
like
had
you
some
said.
fun marketing as well.
Has some fun
Yeah.
marketing.
That was just shots of people getting scared in the theater was like everything.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
And
that.
that goes way back. I mean, we
Yeah, I don't
talk-
think they were the first to do that.
I did. Any of you grow up with any William Castle movies?
No.
Key?
What?
Who?
Oh.
Sorry, I was being French.
I don't speak.
Any French?
okay.
Yeah, I get it.
I'll be Spanish. Okay.
Ken.
Dove?
So William Castle was this very famous horror producer. He did the original 13 Ghosts. If you guys remember the awful remake in the 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Was it that awful? I don't know. I was entertained.
I liked when the ghosts went to Mars.
I grew up on the.
Wait.
I did see the original. The original was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the original, like, I don't know how you watched it, but like in the theaters originally, they would give you glasses that you could look through that either you could look through the red or the blue. And so they'd have a split
3D glasses.
yes, but instead of doing 3D, what they did is they put the ghosts all in the movie were in a specific color. So if you looked through one eye, you could see the ghosts.
That's
If you look through the
awesome.
other eye, you can't see the ghosts. He also
I
invented.
fucking love that.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's
They should do that
great.
with witches in the Blair Witch movie.
And-
You could just add witches in later on an overlay. And
Re-release
it's like,
with witches.
do you want to watch the movie with witches or without? You could just literally put in my jumps. Oh, I fixed the movie.
Just close one eye for witches. Close the other for without.
Yeah.
He also. So I grew up with a movie of his that is very silly, which I don't. Maybe we'll do on the podcast someday. But it's called The Tingler, which is a great movie title for a horror movie. The Tingler. And
Is this related to Teaching Mrs. Tingle?
I don't believe so.
I feel like
that's
this
too
is
bad.
this is a bad guy from the Schumacher Batman that just didn't make it in. The Tingler.
Not as such. So The Tingler.
The Tingler is like a canceled DC character.
We're bringing him back. I didn't
Yeah.
make it out of the Golden
James
Age.
Gunnell.
That's true.
Yeah.
Give the man a chance.
Yeah. Justice for Tingler.
So The Tingler opens up with one of my favorite.
Every time you say it, it's hard not to laugh.
It
Okay.
opens up with one of my favorite like openings ever, which is like I forget if it was William Castle or some other doctor comes out and he's like, "Hey, thank you for coming so much for coming to this movie. As you will see, this is all based on real fact. There are nurses in the wings if anybody has a heart attack or anything. But just remember, if you feel yourself getting scared, if you feel yourself like clenching up, let out a scream as loud as you can because it may be the only thing that can save your life." And then the plot of the movie is a woman has died and they are investigating her death. She was a mute who, in dying, her husband got a lot of money. And they're trying to figure out what happened. And they discover that inside, apparently, I think every human, there is a like parasite in our spines that grows when you are scared. And the only thing that keeps you alive is if you scream. the parasite like becomes shocked and shrinks back down in size. And because she's a mute, she's literally scared to death because she can't scream to incapacitate the creature. And
So this is happening to every mute in this world.
well, if they get that scared.
Yeah.
And her husband, because he's trying to get the payout, scares her to death.
So this is like the opposite of Monsters, Inc.
And
That's rim shot.
I forgot I had the rim shot effect on the soundboard this whole time.
well, but the one step further that he would take it is like much, now you can go see a 4DX movie, but this dude like just would kind of go around touring these movies. And like, again, you got those eye gags for the ghosts. He would put vibrators in the seats to like rattle your spine during scary moments during the tingler.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just, I
You could be tingled in the theater?
Yeah, I love that dude's ingenuity.
Let's bring back people tingling you in movie theaters.
And just,
But this is what I'm talking about before about like experiences in theaters, right?
Yeah.
Like why we want to go to theaters. These are
Absolutely.
the type they need to do more
To
of
be
this
tingled.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'd go get tingled, you know?
and there's your social club. Did you guys see the marketing for the Begonia release where they did the all
to
shaved
shave
head
your head,
version?
yeah.
It's great. That's
Yeah.
charming as shit. I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Jeremy, did you wind up going to this website before you saw the movie, or were you going in fully blind?
No, I went in fully blind and just like word of mouth. And that was what was so cool about it. Is like I didn't have any backstory other than, however, like again, Spirit of Christmas, knew nothing about it. Someone shows up with a VHS tape, we watch it, like, what? And I don't know how it got there. I don't know how this person came to, possession of it. Same with this. Like we just heard stories and that was just their marketing machine. It really is as much as it launched an entire genre, and I shouldn't say launched because, like Cannibal
Popularized.
Holocaust,
Sure, yeah.
which I tried to watch the other day.
I
Just don't. It's like at 20 minutes in, I'm like,
You know what I say about Cannibal Holocaust? Never again. No, I'm not going to do the rim shot on that one.
Yeah.
Wait.
yes, I like it. But yeah, so I'm like, okay,
We're back.
'cause I didn't know and because in our lifetimes, like the Blair Witch was the first found footage movie, right?
Mhm.
Like, so I didn't know that it was Cannibal Holocaust and something else that happened before. And I was like,
Yeah.
and I tried watching, I was like, yeah, no, nobody in their right mind, I don't care how dumb you are, is going to believe this is real.
Well, and the reason that movie's famous.
You're overestimating people.
Fair enough.
Well, no, I mean, and that Cannibal Holocaust specifically did have allegations, and it was banned in a lot of countries. They were checked to see if it was a snuff movie, and it's still banned, I think, in some countries. And the thing that's hard for me to like, we were talking about it a little bit earlier off mic, but like they really did kill like 5 animals on screen for it.
Did they?
Yeah.
See, I didn't get that far. Like I said, I got 20 minutes in and it's like this weird rape thing of this woman. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've chosen not to watch it.
Yeah.
And
I feel good about that. I feel good about myself. Some morals there.
yeah, it doesn't look worth it.
Right. So, okay, back to your original question. Sorry. You may want to just edit all that out.
No.
So, yeah.
I could put air horns all over
we,
it.
we just heard about people throwing up. We heard that it was found footage and, these people were making a documentary that it was real, wasn't a movie. And so that was just kind of like, let's go see what's the fuss about. What's going on here? And then the fact that like the theater was packed and like I said, standing room, it's like, this is an experience. And when we left, when I said like earlier, like what was our reaction after we left? We were like, that was good, but it wasn't real. And we were like, someone was trying to, I remember I don't know who it was. I remember someone trying to advocate that it was real. I was like, dude, there were credits at the end. Shit wasn't real. Like, what are you talking
They had
about?
a production designer.
Yeah. And also like the kicking of that came up, like the kicking of the map. I'm like, come on, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's not, and even today, to this day, like when I watched it the other day with Denise, who she didn't like it when it came out. She's like, it wasn't for me. We were watching it and even that scene again, I was like, I knew it was coming. I was like, God damn it. Why does this scene have to be here? I think without that scene, the movie is so much better. And I think it would hold up a lot better even now without that scene.
What'd you think of because I've not seen it too often, and it maybe rubbed me a little bit more than I think it has in other movies, was the rocking.
The rocking.
After it's down to the two of them.
Oh, where he was rocking?
Yeah. And
That
she
actually-
goes in and just like that, her performance in that really worked. because thankfully I've never been in the situation where I've just been on the ground rocking almost in the fetal position.
All right.
But it is a thing that happens in movies.
I think I believe. I mean, that was legitimate to me.
Yeah.
I could see someone kind of losing their shit, and he was progressively losing his shit. I think I will say, aside from that scene, I thought all the actors did a great job.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how you sell that in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, she was. I hated her
Mm-hmm.
when I watched it then and when I watched it now.
Yeah.
But that was the point.
Yeah.
She did a fantastic job. I thought they did a good job of acknowledging why they were recording, because I'm like, okay, you're recording, obviously you're making a movie. And then when Mike takes the camera later and he's like, I see why you do this. It keeps you like kind of away from reality. And that was a good way to kind of legitimize that.
That definitely sounded true to me. Yeah, that really worked.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't expecting the filmmaking to play such an aspect in this as just like as a metaphor, as another layer.
Yeah.
I personally, and I'm half kidding on this, but I think this movie's kind of a metaphor for choosing a career in film. Because like you got good ideas, but like you might get lost in the woods and killed by a witch.
Yeah, there's still time.
Yeah,
there's still time.
Plus, like, think about all the on-set pranks that can go wrong. You ever come out of your trailer and there's just a bundle of sticks?
I never get a trailer.
By the way, what the fuck was in that bundle? I couldn't figure out.
Was it
Tooth? Was it Tooth?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first bumble.
I just left out a. Was it Tooth? Yeah, I couldn't tell. I was like, what was?
It's a bloody tooth. They actually do. I was discussing the ethics of. I think they credit the dentist who gave them the tooth, but like, I wonder if the person whose tooth it was.
Did they get a credit?
Do you think there's someone out there going like
Gavin's molar?
I mean, honestly, if I found out that my tooth was in a movie that made $250 million profit, I'd want like a little bit of money.
My residuals.
Yeah, I mean, like $10,000 seems fair.
At least a gold tooth replacement.
Yeah. I would like a free tooth.
This is something I didn't know, and then I kind of did a little research on it because when I watched it, she mentions Esau, I think, when they come across all the piles of rocks. I was like, what do the piles of rocks represent? And so it was like
the Cairns, the
Kerns. Yeah. So
I don't know.
You said that so confidently.
So I don't know if you did any research on this, but I did a little bit, and it was. Let's read this to you. The pile of rocks is a story about two brothers with one wanting to kill the other. It's from the Bible. One of them flees.
Sick.
The one who's going to get killed flees, and he ends up living with his uncle, and they make kind of like an agreement with each other that they won't harm each other. And they, by creating a little mini watchtower, in essence, of rocks. And if you cross that watchtower, you're crossing into
a border.
Yeah. And so I was like, this is interesting. It made me appreciate the movie a little bit more because they actually took some thought into, are they crossing? Because if you think about it, Josh kicks those rocks, and that is when shit goes down.
Yeah.
Nothing happened before that.
No.
And so he basically broke that boundary, invaded the witch's space or whatever, and then shit happens. And I just thought that was kind of a fun little tidbit that was like an Easter egg you have to kind of look up after.
Well, it also feels right. Like we're raised with like, I grew up in a household with like I forget the name of that book, but like fairies. Like there's that, or and like goblins. There's like that author who does those amazing illustrations. I think Froud is his name.
Okay.
Labyrinth drew a lot of stuff from him, like those character designs.
Oh.
And those all date way, 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 way back. We've got like red hats, and that's like all cultures have those very specific mythical creatures that like, don't step into a fairy ring. You might dance till you're dead out in the middle of the woods, which is like a interesting way of explaining someone just not being able to find their way home.
Oh man, this movie could have had fairies.
Could we?
Just on one eye.
Decent way to die, I guess, dancing, depending on what song's playing.
I mean, a lot easier than just admitting that they've either like tripped, got hurt, and died alone, starving, or dehydrating. Like, it's a lot easier to explain to yourself that like someone at least got confused and tricked. Or like the idea of like there's like the horse that you get on in, like if you get on a horse in the middle of the woods, it might just take you and drown you. There's I think it's the puka is a Irish horse that does that.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it safe.
Well, if you sit on a horse, it might drag you under the water and then eat you.
You could lead a horse to water, but it'll fucking kill you. Never take a gift horse to water.
But all that to say, it is a very well constructed myth. Like it works really well. It's got that kind of Jersey Devil, like localized, like Mothman, where it feels very of a certain geography, but also like the rules make sense more or less. Sage, did you grow up with any like VHSs or burned DVDs that like were the underground?
No, I mean, keep in mind, like I grew up in a small fishing village with no roads to it, and as we've talked about a long time, we had like rental services. We had VHSs for sure, but we didn't have like, I don't know, any like. It would be what was at Blockbuster, or I mean, we didn't even have a Blockbuster, but the equivalent of that. You're not having an indie section there. I feel like I exclusively watched good to mid to bad sci-fi movies from the late 80s and early 90s.
I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, no, I got no regrets.
Oh, okay.
I'd do it again.
I'm trying to think. I think the closest I had to that, because I mean, the other thing, like, you know, mentioning The Ring, where that feels like a very spiritual successor to this, where it's like, this is the tape that basically is a curse that got out that we all got to see.
Right.
It felt like a movie that shouldn't have gotten out. And it did, which is really cool. And The
Crawled
Ring
right out of the screen.
The Ring does the same thing with that. Weirdly, the movie that like I think of that like shouldn't still exist, but like all my friends got together and watched it, was the only time Stephen King ever directed a movie.
Oh, is that Maximum Overdrive?
Yeah,
that's a great movie.
We should put that on the queue.
We had a burned DVD of that, and that just felt like a movie that like existed despite all odds. Like there should be no that should not have continued to be seen by people, and it was
so
great.
Good. I love that movie.
Have you seen the promo for it?
No.
Oh man, he's coked out of his mind. He's just so excited to be there. It's wonderful. It ends with him going like, "This was my first time directing, and you know, I think I kind of liked it."
Did he also direct his version of The Shining,
No.
like the TV movie? Okay.
No, that's the one and only time he's ever directed.
Okay, yeah.
I think once he came down off that high, he was like, you know, maybe never again.
And he wrote 3 books while he was filming it, right?
Yeah, you know what he said though is never again.
It's weird that that's the catchphrase of this episode, but okay. Another Blair Witch idea I really wanted to talk about. You guys ever just get lost in the woods for more than a day?
So I was going to ask, like, I've never actually been backyard camping or what's it called?
Yeah,
backpacking,
backyard camping.
I've done backyard camping.
Yeah,
and actually that's the closest I can think of to this. Is like when I was in high school, I was out in Sonoma County, and I remember the first time I smoked weed was out at a friend's house in a backyard while camping, and we hotboxed a tent, and it was great, and it was spooky. He had weird neighbors that we've never seen or met. They clearly it was like trailers out in the woods. Some dude had a chainsaw rammed through a piece of wood with his address written on it as the marker for his house. So like you didn't want to trespass in this area.
Mm-hmm.
So even just camping outside of the house felt a little risky. I'm sure it wasn't. But like I remember
that's where you're supposed to camp, Gavin. Otherwise we'd just stay at our house.
We got so messed up, like one of us rolled backwards, ripped the tent open, and rolled down a hill. It was great. But yeah, that's about like the riskiest ever felt for me, really camping, to be honest.
Okay.
What about you?
Oh yeah, all the time.
You've gotten lost?
Yeah, I mean usually it's just like a same day thing where you're off for like 4 hours. I remember we all got like kind of lost in Boy Scouts. Lost is the wrong word. Like most of the hikes, the mountain hikes in Alaska, how would you get lost? But you could certainly take a longer route, and maybe a 2-day camping trip turns into a 3-day camping trip.
It was because one of you kicked the map into the creek, wasn't it?
Yeah,
totally. The topographical map.
And then you guys weren't
everywhere.
You guys weren't sharing.
We did
the
lose a Josh,
compass.
and he died.
You guys only brought one compass, and no one would share it with each other.
So I've had like things like that. I've had a lot of 1 days turn into 2 days because it's like, oh, oops. Or I guess 2 turn into 3 because that would imply you bring a tent to begin with. Or, we built Quincy's once.
What's a
we'd
Quincy?
Make our own
yeah,
shelter.
what is that?
Quincy. Oh, good. I get to do this. Wait, let me take you back to childhood Alaska. Don't you roll your eyes at me, you son of a bitch. So a quinzhee is essentially what we actually make instead of igloos. Igloos are semi-permanent
Fictitious,
structures, and you have to be around areas of frozen ground and ice. Like, there's only so many parts that you can make an igloo. And igloo's something you plan for. Quinzhee is just you just shovel a bunch of snow into a pile, you let that freeze, and then you carve it out. And it's going to be, 30 degrees warmer inside. So a lot of our snow trips, we would not bring out tents. We would make a quinzhee during the day. You'd even throw some more water on it to help it freeze. And then by the time you make an entrance and put it in, you can even run a fire inside of it.
Wow.
I suppose if it collapsed, we'd just die.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah. It probably had like tents as a backup.
How big a quinzhee have you been in or made?
They must have been pretty big. Like, I'm obviously
like
a
this is
smaller
more than
person.
a one-person thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd go out and we'd just have like 2 with our dad, but I think we had one that had like multiple like layers in it. And then like as a kid, the snowplow would like just make the barriers on the side, and we'd just turn those into quinzees and like make a little network of tunnel to smuggle drugs.
Wow.
But the actual story I wanted to tell. We did a hiking trip in Taiwan. Not even a hiking trip, just a day hike. We went out to waterfalls, and we were going to go to the cat village, which I cannot recommend enough. Just a village full of kitschy cat stuff. Kitschy cats, as they say. And it's a well-marked trail in not English. I should say. In a language that I can't just guess what things mean. They're like color-coded, but without like a clear map, without everything else. So it's getting to the point where it is very dark, and it is raining quite a bit because it's Taiwan. And we stumble across an abandoned Buddhist monastery. Or at least there's some dogs in it. And like, who knows if these are just jungle dogs or if they're the Buddhist dog, but there's no one there, and we kind of make the decision, it's just like, we should probably stay here in this shelter. We don't know how far it is to the road. We don't know. I mean, we get to a road, we can get back.
We also
no
don't
problem.
know why they left the Buddhist temple, though.
Right? Is it even there?
I think they're all like, they've got these remote temples everywhere
like
that are just
Roanoke,
like
but-
staffed part of
Right.
it because, government shutdown.
Or haunted.
Yeah, or it was haunted. This
Right.
could have turned into a horror movie, but it was just like, nope, we just slept there, and like the dogs calmed down after a little bit, and I was fairly confident that a monk coming back to see people sheltered in the temple would be fine. I was pretty confident about that. So when we wake up, we pack up and we go out, and we were 10 minutes from the fucking roads.
So that was the thing that I kept like thinking about too, is like in this movie, I wonder how far away they were from a road. Because I didn't get the full idea of like what the geography was, but I was definitely thinking about the ending of The Village, where you realize they're like a mile from civilization this
Right.
whole time.
That fucking movie.
Let's not talk about that.
I hate that so much.
As far as me ever getting lost, I mean, I get lost in the grocery store. So if I went on a hike, I'd probably get lost, but by myself.
Have you ever had to camp in a grocery store?
I have not for an extended period.
You've
just-
never done the overnight Costco challenge?
I have career opportunities did not happen in real life for me. Isn't that the movie with?
Roofman's coming up too. I'm excited to see
Roofman.
it, but yeah, I don't
Isn't
know.
that the Jennifer Connelly movie? Career opportunities.
Yes, I've
The
never
guy-
seen it.
Oh, I
Yes.
like sleep.
know what you're talking about.
Anyway, no, yeah, I've never had an experience where I was lost in the woods, but I mean, I have been lost in a city in a foreign country, and I panicked a little bit, man. Like, I'm not a Boy Scout. Like, I have like severe ADHD, so like I
Yeah.
have no sense of direction. My wife bought me a compass as a wedding gift, or as
And
a
you ate it.
no, but she bought me a compass as a joke and calls me Magellan. Like, I do not know where I'm going. Like,
Damn.
yeah, no, her troll game is good, man. She's great. I love her.
Yeah. And when you get to where you're going, just like Magellan, you will be murdered by Filipinos.
You've reminded me that I'd forgotten. This is a deeply embarrassing moment, but like, even in San Francisco, the town in which I was born and,
Right.
and raised, I remember leaving a friend's house in the middle of the day to head on home, and I got lost, and I was walking for some time, and eventually I have been walking. I'm kind of freaking out. I'm like trying to use the sun to get back home. I'm pretty small at this point, just to throw
Sure.
that out there. I was allowed to wander. It was rather safe feeling city. I hear my name And I'm like, what? And I turn around and I realize that like over the past however long it's been, to me it felt like an hour at least. I've somehow gone in a giant circle. I'm back at my friend's house. They're like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know where I am.
And coincidentally, that's exactly how they ended up at that log again.
Yeah,
They just
I
went
was
in a giant circle.
to me that part
man.
very believable. I was like, this could be magic. It could just be their dumb
Oh
kids.
my
That
god,
was
that,
good.
that
That
reminds
was
me.
my favorite.
Okay, I did get. It was a Twilight Zone thing. So we were in Venice, my wife and I, and it was our honeymoon. And we were walking around
Italy.
Venice, Italy. Yeah.
Okay.
And no, definitely not this Venice for
I mean,
honeymoon.
this could have been a better story, but like that would be a
Yeah.
shitty honeymoon.
But you know, there are no
for a
street-
Californian.
But you know, there are no cars. Like you just everything's walking or boat.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're walking around and we're like trying to get back to our hotel or whatever, and we just end up going in this circle. I shit you not, dude. This was like we were in the teens. How many times this went around? And the only reason we knew is we kept coming across this weird
Yeah.
store that had the same chair in the window.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
I love
it's-
Venice for
it
that.
totally made me feel like we're in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And we kept taking different turns. That's what was
Yeah.
so fucking crazy.
Oh man.
So yeah, I understand their plight by coming back to that log, but I also wonder, was that part of the lore of the
Right.
movie? Like, did the witch make them just go
It
back?
felt like you could either take it either way. I mean,
Yeah.
it does like based on like us talking about it with the Cairns and the bundle.
It's Kearns, actually.
It felt like the witch was like you said. I like the idea of the warning.
Mhm.
The like, you know, it felt like there's like levels to it. Like, you guys want to get out of here, please? Like,
Yeah.
don't be here anymore.
Right.
Please stop being here. So the fact that like I read it as they're just dumb kids who, because I would get lost the same way. Shout out to also Barcelona, the Gothic Quarter, another wonderful place to be lost and confused.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes. Love Barcelona.
Yeah.
I will say the other thing that I really liked about this movie is that they made me feel, I think maybe because, well, not now, I mean, this time watching it, I could draw upon that experience I was just talking about being lost. But the conversations they were having, like, have you ever been like somewhere where you just were really hungry and it's like, I got a cheeseburger in my back pocket? Like, I could totally relate to that conversation
Yeah.
and like the camaraderie of being lost together. I mean, honestly, you made the joke earlier, Sage, about getting into filmmaking, but like we've all been on set where it's been like 16 hours longer than we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And we're exhausted, but we're having that moment where we're just kind of commiserating together and having a good time.
Yeah, our
And-
brains are breaking.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job with the brains breaking.
PTSD
I
hidden.
thought so. The log scene's great. Also, like, I don't know if we've properly acknowledged how scary it would be to just have a bundle of sticks
That-
outside.
that
That
was-
was like the
Yeah.
one moment I truly got scared.
That
Yeah.
was the rocks too, like the rocks appearing
Yeah.
outside the tent the
Yeah.
second time we see them. There was enough there, and the time that they took with each moment too was enough to really sit into those characters' shoes and be like, yeah, that's terrifying. That is pretty spooky. I would
Mhm.
not want to be there anymore, and the fact that you can't leave because you can't figure out how to leave is scary.
And I
Like-
think it helped. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
I think it helped that Mike and Josh always wanted to go.
Yeah.
And she's like still filming. She was like, I
Yeah.
got to document this. It again, it justified why we're getting this footage,
Yeah,
right? Whereas if it was just all three of them taking footage, then this is stupid, and I'm
Right.
not really buying into it.
yeah.
I also just want to call out because we're on it and it's top of mind in my head right now. But like, I think my favorite line from the entire movie was
Josh.
Josh!
like when she's really screaming.
Yeah.
No, is which one was the Wicked Witch?
Yeah.
Like, it was so
It
was-
great.
Easter
Was
West.
That
Easter
was yeah, the
Well,
best
and
line
that's-
of just actual dialogue, like,
Yeah.
from a writing perspective.
so good,
Is which one was the good witch?
and it felt so natural.
It's
right?
also like they're wrong about it.
Yeah. Well,
Like they're both bad witches. One just dies at the beginning
Right,
of it.
right.
It's like, well, let's go east then.
but it was so great.
picking south though, I also totally buy. Like that's
Yeah.
a very sure.
That was a good
Pick
witch.
one
It's
direction.
Good witches of the south
Yeah.
and the
Mhm.
north. We did a whole Oz episode.
I want to just mention a couple of the movies that came after this. Specifically, I think one of the more successful things, because we've talked about it, is that this being a documentary crew, made sense in what they were doing. And Paranormal Activity, we also mentioned the form as function was really well used as like, again, this is mostly from one point of view. Where there's a reason for the footage, there's a reason for the exploration of the footage, worked really well within that as well. Creep,
Oh, so good.
ongoing.
What is Creep? I've never heard of Creep.
Oh
Creep
man.
it's a Duplass project.
Mm.
Mark Duplass is kind of the main character that we see on screen, and then he is hired. I think if I remember correctly, he is terminally ill. He has hired a videographer to come document him
Mhm.
for his soon-to-be-born son because he wants to leave some stuff behind for him. And so it's just this guy hanging out with this creepy dude who he has been hired off Craigslist to document. And you kind of are trapped with this man as you slowly learn that
He's a creep. Let's leave it at that. I don't
Yeah.
want to spoil it for you, Sage. I think you might
Pretty
like
good.
it. Yeah.
has a sequel, has
A
a
creep, you
TV
say.
show
Yeah.
coming out or out already.
I never saw the sequel.
Does
I haven't-
anyone get tingled?
In a sense. I think.
One of my other favorites is the Spanish film Rec or Record,
Mhm.
which
Oh, is that what it means?
it's
The Spanish film Grabando.
which is from the point of view of a news team is doing a ride along with a fire department.
I
So-
still haven't seen this. You
Oh,
told me
it's
about
so
it.
good.
Yeah, I need to watch.
And so
I loved Rec. I haven't gone through too many of these found footage.
It's hard,
Movies,
right?
but,
Because
like-
half of them are crap, and you're like,
Sure.
I don't want to do this to myself.
Yeah.
But then you hear about these, and you're like,
well,
oh,
and
this
it's
is
those
great.
few that are able to actually elevate the
Yeah.
fact that you are being guided through Rec by an on-air personality and a camera person works wonderful. Same with Creep, like you are an individual in the story.
Mhm.
Our friend Sean, who we'll hopefully have on for one of these someday, has also gone heavily into the found footage genre. And
That would make sense.
similarly, like his first found footage feature, The Ceremony is About to Begin, is from the point of view of a documentarian who's investigating.
Sean, give us a voice note and rank every VHS movie.
Well, and I haven't seen any of the VHS series, which feels like a blind spot for this. But again, like similarly, despite me shouting out these movies that I do love, this is a hard genre to get excited about.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yes.
fucking bad found footage movies.
Yeah.
Oh God, I think it is the genre with the most because you're
Well, the
already.
barrier
It's
to
not a good
entry is
ratio.
So
Yeah.
low.
It's not,
Yeah.
and I think because you're going into it and you're already giving up on
Yeah.
visual and sound. Like you're already
That's-
like, okay,
yeah.
the sound and the visuals are not going to be top notch at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the story better be good. And when
Yeah.
it's not, you're just like, dude.
And I can forgive it when it is like some kids in the woods or like I do scale my ratings on if I'm watching a movie I know is less than 100,000 and maybe there's some problems with the
Sure.
sound. It's just like at that point you're judging it mostly on writing and acting and the things that are maybe a little bit more in their control. But Jesus Christ, some of these movies.
Sure.
Real quick though, Sage, can we talk about sound? Because you are a sound expert, and I want to get your take on the sound of this movie. One thing that I appreciated from this movie was, well, I had issues with the sound, and I love the sound. So the reason
Mhm.
why is I loved that they made the camcorder, the only source of audio. So
well, there's,
Yeah.
there's,
So
there's
that
a
was-
guy holding he's got a boom gun.
right,
Yeah,
he
I
has
don't
the
know
dab.
how much he's using. it.
right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like when they wake up and shit. Like
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's just that mic from the camcorder when
Yeah.
they wake up, and it's like a really good sounding mic. You know?
Yeah, that was
Like,
the thing. It's like she's next to behind the camera for a lot of it, and her voice is so
Clear.
present and
Huh.
clear.
Yeah.
And there was a while where I thought this movie was going to be they would have the DP and then she's just standing right next to it and they're looking in the camera. It's probably easier for everyone to just have her do it and like act to the camera, act to the other actor. But yeah, I was just I've already said it. We're so trained, especially sound, even maybe more than camera. Is just like, no, you get everything clean and you process it later.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're obviously not doing that. Like, what they get is what they get. They've added things. Maybe they've re-recorded some things.
Mhm.
But, like, no, that's a fucking on-camera mic.
Yeah. And I do love the end, like when she's chasing him with the 16 and you only hear her audio from the camcorder because they don't have the DAT with them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I appreciated that. Again, it's like filmmakers making a film and making that part of the story. I think that was, I appreciated it.
I think the mix of the two formats also, like for me, it was actually kind of hard to tell on the compression, which was which, but like that's why I asked earlier about like if there was a difference in the theater between the 16 and the high 8.
Just the
too
color and the
much.
black and white. Yeah.
That seemed to be the biggest thing, which was kind of surprising to me that high 8 either looked
Oh, it was a high 8? I thought it was
High
a
eight.
16 mil. Anyway, yeah.
Well, no, there's 16 millimeter and high 8.
Oh,
The
right.
digital is high 8.
Digital. Okay. No, the 16 millimeter looks more crisp, I think,
Mhm.
in the theater as well. But it felt more cinematic, obviously, right? Because it's film versus fucking
Well,
camcorder.
and you know that's when they're planning their shots, which I also thought
Yeah.
mostly worked, except for at the very end when you still get those both the two experiences, and you know exactly which character you're with because it's such an easily visible divide.
right.
It worked for that, yeah.
But there are things too, like having worked in this industry now, I think all of us can agree. Well, who edited this? It's found footage, but it's like edited between two
Yeah,
different
they said they
cameras.
found the footage of like, and then you sat down and edited it all together.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I buy that. That makes
Okay.
sense to me. That's the reason that it got out. I
That's
like
true.
that part.
Okay.
I mean, the idea between most of the like these found footage movies, like Cloverfield, is essentially it's one camera,
yes,
and then the
it's
idea is
real
that it's
time.
stopped. Well, no, it's recorded over another one. That's the gimmick there. So they have
Right,
flashbacks, and that's just
yeah.
where it skipped over the existing tape, which is a pretty clever gimmick.
It was.
Even if some of us like Cloverfield more than others.
hmm
You didn't like Cloverfield, Gavin?
I think it's got the greatest short film trailer I've ever seen,
Yes,
and it does not justify its runtime as a feature.
And I loved that movie.
I got real problems with it, especially because of how good the opening is.
yeah.
Okay.
Plus, the Cloverfield monster fucked your wife, right?
Sure.
Okay. Never again.
Don't make me relive
Oh, we got a rim shot on top of it. Nice.
I didn't even touch that air horn.
So the one thing that I felt story wise was, I don't know if it was confusing. I mean, I guess you could kind of, everyone's going to come to the same conclusion, but like what kills them in the end
Mhm.
is that hermit. Like they end up at his house, right? The guy who was,
So,
but here's the thing. Well, let me just back up.
Yeah,
All right.
go on.
They
Shut
tell-
the fuck up.
They
Gavin.
tell a
Let him
story.
talk.
They tell
Let
a story.
Jeremy talk.
See what you're doing there. They go to the Coffin Rock. There's a story about
Yeah.
5 guys
Mhm.
tied, and then they disappeared. There's a little girl who sees the woman floating, and that's the witch. Then they talk about this guy who kidnapped kids and murdered them and made
Yeah.
one stand in the corner because he couldn't take the eyes on him. That's
Good
great
story,
lore,
creepy.
really good, super creepy. And that's how they meet their demise. But they never really talk about the fucking witch, dude. Like,
Well-
what? So we're just supposed to surmise that the witch is causing all this chaos by like possessing people or like forcing them to do things or what? Like that part kind of irritates me a
Mhm.
little bit.
Hmm.
That it's called the Blair Witch Project,
yeah.
but we never really dig deep on the witch, just the happenings because of this supposed witch that's in the area. Again, dick fingers.
That's a thing that I'm I wonder how much of this was like kind of this was a era that the closest I got to seeing this kind of thing was with Donnie Darko. That website had a bunch of like further reading for like
Yeah, the little DVD insert that's just like, here's what happens in the movie.
well it's but if you go on the website, like it's like you can read about the metaphysical stuff that they're talking about. And
Okay.
this movie as well, if you went on their website,
Had that lore.
had the lore,
Okay.
which I didn't read.
Yeah, no.
But like the idea of there being more text if you want to find it, I do think is an interesting, again, the marketing outside of this movie. There was more to this movie than the text.
Right.
And I think that like it being open-ended like that, where this is a haunted place that has recurring tragedies or horrifying moments, being a thing that either is caused by the witch or the witch is also just another outcropping of this space.
You really got to
Mothman
read
vibes.
the Book of Shadows in order to understand the
That's
Blair
true.
Witch
You've seen the
Project.
sequel, so you understand it.
I don't remember a damn thing other
but
than the
it-
topless ghost.
That's covered in horsehair.
Yeah.
If we're
Was
to
she-
believe.
was
And there was a lot of weird like skateboarding and pooping.
No, but I,
CKY produced
If I
the sequel.
told you that Blair Witch Project 2 starred a bunch of skateboarders, would you be remotely surprised?
no.
no.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Once
Or
you
it
told me,
does, and I forgot.
once you told me it wasn't found footage, nothing will surprise me.
What a bold choice.
That
Right?
is the only thing that surprised me.
That's shocking. Yeah, I guess I could get on board with that. It's like the Mothman lore
Yeah.
kind of things are happening, but it's just some sort of entity or whatever that's affecting.
What's the
things.
Buffy? The Buffy. There's a Hellmouth, obviously under.
Obviously.
Sure,
Where-
yeah, for sure. I mean, how
What
could you not?
Sunnydale.
formerly was Blair.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to Berkowitz. I was trying
Maryland.
to remember the name of the town.
There's a Hellmouth under Maryland.
Burkettville,
Yes,
yeah, or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I think we've kind of exhausted.
We have.
All I
There's one
have.
thing I wanted to ask about found footage. Touch on when we move on. Does Screen Life count as found footage?
I'd say yeah.
What movie?
Screen Life's the one where everything is just on a screen.
Searching, Unfriended.
Unfriended would be the one that's the most relevant here because that is the only
horror
one of those
movie.
I've seen that's a horror movie, and I don't really remember. I remember liking it, but like out of those, just that and Searching are the only ones that I'm like, oh, this is pretty good.
So it's a movie that takes place entirely from the point of view of a
monitor.
web
If your
camera
webcam, yeah.
Oh, okay.
and flashing back. So
Yeah.
I guess
It's like
your
a
computer
recording of
screen,
your screen.
which
and-
is, you know,
There's more and more that you can do with that now that
Novel,
everything's integrated.
I guess,
You know,
Yeah.
but interesting, harder
Yeah.
to justify.
like it's good that only one of those comes out like every 3 or 4 years.
I think what sucks about this genre is that when it's good, it's really, really good, and it keeps bringing you back every once in a while to try another one. And like I said at the beginning of this podcast, like I have a friend who wants to watch this, and I'm like, God damn it! And then it's good, and it's like, oh shit, now I may have to watch another one.
Yeah,
It's
and
really
also every
frustrating.
single one of them has 8 in the franchise.
Yeah, well, which we
There's
all know.
7
just
paranormal activities.
Stop at one.
well, and I mean, it's the
8 VHS movies.
the crux of
Really?
this too is when it works.
I don't know.
The
I'm making
bu-
up numbers.
The budget is so low that the earnings are almost guaranteed.
10 sequels.
Oh,
that's
so that brings okay. So I have to, before we move on, I do have to say this. My biggest takeaway, and I think the biggest impact it had on me, aside from the theater going experience, was I always wanted to make movies, and I never thought that would be possible on my own. Like you need to get money from someone or whatever. And yeah, $60,000 is a lot of money, but I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
watching this movie.
Clerks
I
still
was like-
cost a lot of personal money. Like,
Right,
that's-
right. But the point is, like watching this movie, I was like, holy shit, I could make a movie. Like
Yeah.
it was just kind of eye opening from that respect. And I think it probably may have launched the career of a lot of people who wanted to make movies. Maybe they didn't
Oh,
end
yeah.
up making them, but they were like, oh shit, I can do this. Same with like El Mariachi and things like that. But
Yeah.
like this was the first one where I realized, oh, this is an attainable goal. You know, you just have to have a good story.
Any asshole could make a movie in the woods.
Seriously though, like but that's the point. Like I could probably make this better. I didn't think that, but you know, someone could
I
have
think
that attitude.
Give me 10 days and $70,000.
At the time though, right? Like you're a teenager, you're not gonna. Maybe you are. Maybe you're just an asshole. I don't know. Like, but you realize like what's possible.
Yeah.
When you see something like this, and when you see these paranormal activity, dude. Like
That one's
Come
still
on.
mind blowing.
it's
That's so good.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's a nanny cam, dude.
Yeah.
And I was captivated the entire
Absolutely.
time. Like
You could have.
No one said Chronicle yet, but I think that also does a wonderful job of
Yeah.
like incorporating.
That one's definitely got a
yeah.
bigger budget, but it is
Yeah.
very fun.
No, that's like a $20 billion movie.
Yeah.
They shot it in South Africa.
Paranormal Activity, I think they could have even spent a little bit less on the VFX
Yeah.
and just
I
not
was
cut a little
shocked
bit earlier. And
When we
build.
looked up how many
That's the
paranormal
only-
activity movies there were, I was shocked to find out they all took place in California, basically.
Yeah.
There's no way to know what state that house is in that they shoot it in. 2 of those movies are in Santa Rosa. A.
Well, Sage, I think we're that time where I'm trying to remember. I'm a little fuzzy, but how do we rank, rate, describe these movies?
Well, we have a patented 3-tier system, as well established over sub 100 episodes.
You're right. I should remember that.
Yeah, but you know, you got the memento thing going on. So, is this movie still good?
Mhm.
Is it better as a memory, or do we kill its best friend and bundle up in a bunch of sticks?
I was just gonna say rip its teeth out and put it in a bunch of sticks. Yeah.
Do we
Same-
kick it in
same-
the
same-
river and laugh about it convincingly?
yes.
I just had a good time watching this. I think one of the fun things about found footage in general for me, a lot of movies you are identifying with a character. You're projecting yourself on your Blair Witch, projecting yourself onto a protagonist. And when you're watching found footage, I just get to be the filmmaker who gets to be the protagonist in this. So it's both, but a lot of times found footage are just like, oh, there's a layer of removal from being in the experience, but it's so fun to actually direct the movie. Found footage to me reminds me of like those Telltale video games. They're like almost like a choose your own adventure thing, even though it is all one cutscene.
That's interesting, especially not maybe specifically with this movie, but like the conscious choice to keep going then becomes yours.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just had a good time watching this. I don't have any huge problems with it.
Mhm.
I do think like
You
it's a
could have made
pivotal,
this movie
fundamental
better
film.
with 70K in 10 days.
It's got the film history argument locked up for like why this movie's important.
Yeah.
As for still good, I'm not going to hold it against it that like other movies did certain things better after they watched Blair Witch Project and decided like, oh, maybe this could have some jump scares. Maybe this could do this. Maybe this could have music. Maybe there's, which again, not a problem with the movie, but like this is a building block.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of great movies because of this. We have a lot of terrible movies because of this.
Sure
But
do.
I'm going to give the credit and not the blame. So still good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely like on the border between still good and better as a memory.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is that, yeah, I think this is actually a pretty strong entry for this genre.
Yeah.
It is 80 minutes long, and it definitely shouldn't be any longer.
Yeah, I think it should be 70 minutes. I think there's a good 10 minutes of them just lost in the woods you could just fucking cut from this film.
Yeah.
Also,
but-
I apologize for cursing so much, but I did just watch Blair Witch Project where they just scream the F word over and over and over.
Same.
This is more than most podcasts.
It's interesting to me that this movie is put on so many horror lists as one of the scariest movies of all time, because it is a different kind of horror than I'm used to seeing. Even in found footage stuff, there are, like you said, almost no jump scares. You do not see the witch. It's closer to, it's not even that, because it's not like Lovecraftian in that it is vibes, but it's not just the vibes permeate. It's you're somewhere where you shouldn't be. And I do think it strikes a very interesting place with that. I'm gonna give it a still good too. I think that like it's earned its place. I don't think it's one of the scariest movies of all time, but I think it's one of the most interesting, especially with how liberally this movie asks to be taken, not just at its text, but its place in history feels so relevant no matter when you watch it. I can't imagine escaping, which is I'm almost jealous that you got to, but I mean, even then it's a different.
I mean, I was going to say, like, I feel bad for both of you guys because, no, to a certain degree, like, because you didn't get to have that experience. So
Yeah.
for me, like, if I'm going to choose, it's better as a memory and
Sure.
it's still good.
Yeah.
Like, it's better as a memory because
That's not how this works.
well, that's how it works for me because it was so great to
Seven
have that
apple.
experience. It was so great to have that experience in
Yeah.
the theater. So obviously that memory is going to be better for me. But I just watched it and I still feel like it's a good movie. Now, I had the same exact reaction both times, which was the map kick, which I'm like, what
Mhm,
the fuck? But after that happened, it got me back in that when I left the theater, I wasn't pissed for being bamboozled into thinking it was real anymore because I did a good job finishing it off as a movie,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm surprised people have it as like one of their scariest movies of all time.
Yeah.
It's not a scare. It's barely a horror movie.
But I also have to say, maybe they're the ones who saw it like I did originally, because that ending was scary as fuck, man, when you first saw it. And again, that shot wasn't as long, right? Like when they remastered it, they brightened it and you can see him in the corner way better. And like you barely caught a glimpse, like, oh my God, what the fuck was that? Like that's how you left, like just feeling uneasy, you know? And again, the kids, like the sound of the kids, like you're getting with the fully immersive experience. That was creepy. It was just, it was an experience and one that I'm super grateful I had. And when I watch it now, I think for every reason you both said that it was like the foundation for these movies, good or bad, but you want to just give them the good. I agree. Probably. And in that respect, yeah, it's good. I think everyone should probably watch it if they're into horror or cinema in general. I think it's a good movie to watch and take notes and learn from.
Yeah, I like what you said too about it just kind of being inspiring.
Yeah.
That's such a cool part of it that like was easy to forget when I was going into it.
Sure.
Did you tell me there was an alternate ending?
So as far as I know, they shot alternate endings.
Okay.
There is a gory version of this movie that when it got picked up by, I'm forgetting who acquired it. Artisan Entertainment. They funded some reshoots, which I think after some testing. So that was interesting to see too, is that they did do a lot of testing on this movie before it went to Sundance too. Which I don't understand exactly how they got away with that. Sundance probably was just different at the time. But they played it at other film festivals, maybe in private screenings, to get feedback on it. And they did cut it several times before it went to Sundance and premiered there, where it was acquired. And then they did further reshoots, I think, after that, after Artisan acquired it. And they shot reshoots, but wound up sticking with the original.
Okay.
I'm glad, because I don't think gore is the way to go here.
No.
Like, the movie had no jump scares. Why would you do that at the end? I like that we never saw the witch. I thought that added to the creep factor. Yeah.
I was hoping for like some weapon style. I like knowing exactly what's going to happen at the end from having that iconography somewhat spoiled for me. I really could have used like just quick shots, or like, you know, kind of like how Wreck ends, which I'm not going to spoil for anyone, but it's just like they've just got some iconic stuff in there.
But again, that's my whole point.
I like a good spooky shot where you're just like, movies that are based on like, is the monster real? Is the horror real? And then they just throw the world at you in the last minute.
See,
but honest question, Sage. If you had not seen that last shot beforehand, would that have sufficed? Like, would that have filled the void that you wanted of? Like,
I don't even think
creepy...
I've seen the shot. I think I've seen just the still image of the guy standing in the corner.
That's what I'm saying. If you had not seen that before, would you have felt different? What you just said?
No, because I've still seen like that sort of like possession done in so many movies. Since and probably before, not in found footage, but.
I'm of the opinion.
Like, have you seen Smile? That's all Smile is.
And then when you're overexposed, it's its own danger. I kind of like that there's a little bit of, they're holding back, because I mean, I think they know what they have and they know what they're working with. Whereas my only knock against Paranormal Activity is like the CGI at the end. That's the one thing that doesn't quite work for me.
I agree.
That's actually probably a better example I should have used for like final shot.
I do think Wreck like it's terrifying and works, but like I don't know if you need all of that ending either. And similarly, like a movie that I love, like almost top to tail, like The Witch is amazing, but I still kind of wish that we hadn't seen them at the very end.
That was my biggest
Very
knock on
much
that
disagree.
movie. I did not want to see them floating in the sky at the end of that movie. I'm like,
that's a good example of just like, no, actually it's all real, surprise.
And they have, and I mean, I think that it all being real, but it all being slightly more grounded than CGI can provide. And that's just like, there's that fraction of disbelief that like permeates me, even though they do an amazing job. And like it looks beautiful and absolutely solid. There's no fault in the CG. Whereas maybe with Paranormal Activity, you can see the seams in a way that, you know,
when you make a movie for $8,000.
Yeah.
But I did kind of appreciate the restraint at the very end of this, especially because I love that they got the ability to test and do a different version. And it's cool that they came back to the original.
Yeah. I got to say, it's funny because at the beginning of this, I'm like, I am in no way an advocate for this movie. I'm not, endorsing it. And at the end, I realize I am endorsing it. It's something you should watch. I think it's just from a filmmaking standpoint alone. I know I'm rehashing the same crap I already said, but it's just kind of, as we've been talking and like learning a little bit more about the behind the scenes and everything that it took, like how the actors were basically the filmmaker. Like, it's just kind of fascinating from just a historical standpoint.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, speaking of rehashing the same old thing.
So I
don't smoke weed anymore.
I was going to tell you. Wait. Say it again.
I don't smoke weed anymore.
Okay. Works better when you cue it up and then you get the joke twice and it is twice as funny. Normally this is the part where I would tell you that we have acquired the rights to the Blair Witch franchise. Unfortunately, I could not quite get that, but I do think that our streaming service, which is Still Good Plus, does need a found footage movie, which is a thing that like we can just make as established. I've got $8,000 lying around.
We need 60, man.
Yeah, well, we can make it work. I'm saying we've got enough seed.
We're reviving a canceled undercover police program from the 80s.
Oh, it's not a remake, it's a reboot.
You see, the guys in charge of this stuff lack creativity.
What the fuck is a reboot?
So all they do now is recycle shit from the past.
We're working on less of a shriekwell and more of a scream make.
Expect us all not to notice.
I like it. Another!
horror movies are one of the easiest things to fund for a low budget thing.
I thought you were going to say
those
make,
people
and
will
I was
eat
like-
anything. Not to make, no, absolutely not. Probably the hardest type of movie to make.
Huh, okay.
So I'm just very curious. We've got a group of filmmakers here. What is a found footage horror story that you would like to tell?
Oh,
Sage, why don't you go first?
Yeah, so I was shooting a movie years ago where the DP was really proud of a project that he did in Mexico, where he's from, which was a documentary in the cenotes. So cenotes they're kind of more famous along the Yucatan as these giant holes in the ground that have like caverns all over it that like people cliff jump into. But what they are is the start of like huge underground, undersea even river systems that I believe are connected to like those, like the blue holes that are off the coast, the famous one in Belize and everything else. But I mean, the rivers have to go somewhere, and I think they open up into the ocean. We don't really know, and a lot of people to do this spelunking die.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
the fact that you mentioned this at all, it's funny how many people have like this fear of open water.
Mm-hmm.
Enclosed water sounds terrifying.
Yeah, no, it's
Very not
terrifying.
okay.
It's like a thing. I love diving, and I certainly want this. Might be my winter trip. I've never been to the Yucatan, and I love cliff diving so much. I want to go to some cenotes and jump in, but I don't necessarily want to do the diving thing in a situation where you could run out of air. But I think there is probably a very good movie based on this. Take the I haven't seen a movie we haven't talked about called As Above, So Below.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember from the trailers just thinking it's just like, certainly the trailers to that movie makes it look like the Parisian catacombs just lead to hell. Well, I'm somewhat inferring from the title as well.
The movie is a question, yeah.
Yeah, it's searching for the Philosopher's Stone, and I read the article on it, and it describes it as like they go into their own personal hell. I'm just like, hell better not be a metaphor in this movie. They should just go to hell. They should have a descent. But I would like to
maybe
see
don't
that
see the
in
movie.
in cenotes. Like they just keep going down. I don't know how you solve the thing of them just not running out of oxygen to die, but like, the only way up is down. I don't know.
Sure.
Donkey Kong Bonanza rules.
I mean,
was the Descent found footage? I can't remember.
No, it's
No.
not. And that's
so like a cool found footage version of the Descent, but like with
That's
water.
what I was hoping
Yeah.
that movie would be. I think there's a good movie in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get over just shooting in a cave as a found footage thing. I feel like it's going to look real bad.
so many glow sticks.
Yeah. Oh, sure, yeah. It's a way to do it, lamps, all this.
I mean, that's the tough thing
Yeah.
is like the Descent is better because it's not a found footage.
The
movie.
Descent?
No,
Yeah,
Descent
that would
is
not be better.
It's a fun ride,
Descent
man.
is great.
It's a fun ride.
That is one of my favorite of
And,
that. subgenre of
aquatic descent sounds cool too. I'm into that.
Aquatic
But I
Descent,
kind of
yeah.
like the idea of like
Yeah.
a found footage, because what would that look like? I'm
Called
intrigued.
Depth.
I like the
Yeah.
name.
Well, and I haven't seen The Abyss or any of those. Also
Yeah.
sound very fun. I'm not sure.
So documentary crew going to a professional documentary crew, and I love that you have the built-in idea of just like, no, we need to film everything, because it's like, no, that's what they do. You never know what's going
Mhm.
to.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that formist function is very important. And the thing that I'm going to mention, because I think I've already mentioned it on the podcast before, is there's a movie called The Island of Dr. Moreau, which is,
we're all familiar with this movie.
yeah,
And
not
the lore behind it.
Not a particularly good movie, but the lore behind it is amazing. And the
Yeah.
personalities involved are amazing. You've got Marlon Brando and Val Kilmer, both at like the maybe not heights of their careers, but the heights of them being assured that they
I feel
are.
like that was the hype for Val,
it
right?
it was
Wasn't it like after the Doors when he was getting like
Yeah.
the Oscar buzz and stuff? I feel like that was the hype for Val.
well, I mean, the big thing was that he knew he was at the top of his career.
Right.
And so everyone was throwing their weight around. They were making choices. The director got fired off the project famously
Yes.
because he was clashing with Val Kilmer and Marlon Brando.
Richard Stanley disappeared and didn't make another movie for 20 years.
Poor
And
Richard.
specifically, he disappeared into the woods rather than taking
What?
the plane ticket home. He camped out in the woods around the production.
And made little bundles of sticks to
I was
leave
just gonna say,
outside
I
Val
think we know who
Kilmer's
killed
trailer.
those kids at the end.
You
You think it
joke,
was Richard Stanley?
It was Richard Stanley.
you joke, but he did practice witchcraft to curse the production. He was in the woods putting hexes on production.
come
This is
on.
great. This
This
is
is
some Tony
amazing.
Jaa,
This is good.
Bach 2 shit.
Yeah.
And disappointingly, like, no hate to the, like, I feel bad saying it, but there is a behind the scenes, like, there is a movie about this, and it's just not interesting enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
which you've got. I mean, I doubt they used any of Val Kilmer's personal footage that you get to see in the incredible documentary Val.
But like watching the behind the
He's credited as cinematographer of the
Is
documentary.
he? I have not seen that.
It
movie.
uses mostly just he
Yeah.
was recording everything on like
Makes
all of his
sense.
movies, which
That's cool.
sounds just intolerable.
I don't know, it sounds interesting
Yeah.
though to me. I mean,
He
But-
may have done a Blair Witch at some point. Who knows?
But I'm just saying, watching the behind the scenes video of a production that's legitimately cursed, as you sort of uncover the idea that the filmmaker who's been scorned makes his presence more and more known as the production falls apart. Kind of like a mixture of that true story and The Man Who Killed Don Quixote behind the scenes stuff, where you've just got like these acts of God coming in, destroying sets. That's what I would
wasn't
want
that
to see.
Lost in La Mancha?
Lost in La Mancha, yeah, thank you.
Love that movie.
Mega Doc is out right now too, which is the Megalopolis documentary. It's going around some
Ooh.
festivals or like indie cinemas.
True.
Docs about Francis Ford Coppola tend to be good. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what I would love to see. I want to see, I guess, a slightly fictionalized version, but using those building blocks are just so rich.
So does
from
he?
Island of Dr. Moreau.
If he's practicing witchcraft, does he essentially make some of these animals and then they attack the set? Like, would that be a thing? Like, that could be
like actual
actual
human
Dr.
animal
Moreau.
hybrids.
Yeah, like
That could be fun. I like the idea of people in that makeup being terrified by like, give me I'm almost picturing like the Oz the Great and Powerful. Like if I could get Richard
Sure.
Stanley's face in a fire,
yeah.
that'd be rad.
I think
That'd be pretty good.
so. For me, I mean, because I didn't plan for this at all, so off the cuff, I got two options for you here.
I
Okay.
came up with it during the bumper.
Oh, God damn it! You're putting me to shame already. So, I really am intrigued by this new Anaconda movie.
Yeah.
Which I think that could be kind of something fun for the Blair Witch, like to redo it that way. If we were going to redo the Blair Witch, if they like tried to go out and make their own Blair Witch and it's like really weird shit starts happening, that could be intriguing.
Do you mean like the remake that is currently happening of the Blair Witch?
I didn't know that was happening until you said it.
Well,
at the
but
beginning,
what?
I think. But I'm
Well, like the
Okay.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare is a
Come on.
great version of that too, where it's like, which I keep thinking happened after Scream, but it happened before Scream.
It feels like it's
Okay.
a Scream ripoff, but no.
Yeah, I mean it's him ripping off himself.
Yeah, you
but
get
like,
to do that.
but like the idea that the Nightmare on Elm Street 10 or whatever is actually cursed.
Yeah, I think exactly. But I think it's more from what I've gathered from the half a trailer I watched, because I don't want it to spoil a lot for me, which it already spoiled so much. Like, I'm like, why did you put all this stuff in the Anaconda trailer already?
Yeah.
Like, we know these things happen. That kind of sucks. Sorry to the person who made the trailer. I know
Well,
your
you
job
just
is hard.
famously don't like trailer editors, is what I.
Oh, come on now. I married one. I love her. She's amazing. But what I love about her, she didn't spoil shit in her trailers. All right. So so I like the idea of people who maybe grew up loving the Blair Witch and wanted to go make a new version of it themselves. Not necessarily the Blair, wanted to make a documentary about it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like
They were inspired.
it's interesting. But the other thing, like if you were just doing a found footage thing, like Sage had asked, the real question before I diverted into this stupid one.
Don't worry about it.
No.
Honestly, I think because I haven't seen it, because we were complaining about, it's just, there's so many now, and it's a lot of the same shticks and cliches and iPhone footage and shit. I would like to see a silent movie that was found footage of an old like Super 8 or something, or even farther back, like turn of the century when they started making film cameras and they found this canister and what is this crazy shit that's happening on it? Like that, almost like if you think about The Ring and the video she finds,
Yeah.
but like make that into a feature that has more of a story. Like that would be kind of interesting to me. I don't know what the story is, don't ask, but seeing
No, I
a
like
silent
that,
movie
yeah.
that was found footage would be like, I think that's also the only way you might actually get to fool people again to maybe this actually was found.
Well, that brings me to like similarly like along those lines of what I was talking about, what you were talking about, like the is it Murnau who did Nosferatu, and Shadow of the Vampire is a movie that I really wanted to like more than I did, and that's not found footage, but a behind the scenes of the making of Nosferatu.
Wasn't that Defoe? Wasn't he? In
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah. Defoe got to be Dracula, which makes sense.
Well, I got to be Nosferatu.
He's
They,
gotta be
they couldn't
Nosferatu.
afford. They couldn't afford.
Unlike
to be,
in Nosferatu, where he's Van Helsing.
yeah. Yeah, no, I love the idea of like something in that period where you're seeing that era, and that's going to be so much more
Like,
expensive than
what if it was
the
found footage of
movie can
Jack
do.
the Ripper recording his shit? Like, that would be fucked up. But like, that's
In
something
1900s.
yeah, fair enough. But you know what I mean? Like something a little bit later, but
Sure.
someone like that kind of vibe,
Yeah.
right?
Ed
Like
Gates
a-
just had a body cam on him all the time.
no, but you know, like an actual cinema, like
Or
maybe they have like a partner and there's just
Edison's-
weird, creepy dudes. Like, yeah,
There's
Edison's
got to be like a
experiments.
serial killer found footage movie. where it's
Tesla's
like
experiments.
Yeah.
Right. That would be cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we'll make all of those.
Yeah,
I
well,
also think.
What's that going to cost?
we've-
12,000.
What could a banana cost, Michael?
I mean, granted, you threw in a little bit of a monkey wrench by making it period.
I
but-
did. I'm sorry.
I mean, the Sonotis one is by far the most expensive out of the ones we pitch. Like, that is a $10 million movie minimum, whether you're doing it on sets or anything else. How do you, I mean, I guess if you just kill,
You
let
just
people
don't
die.
get the insurance. Yeah, it's
yeah,
fine.
You don't. It's Mexico. So mark that. This is a good system. So I feel like we've covered enough recommendations on this, but I'll
Sure.
give you a chance to shout out if this movie makes you jonesing for any other horror. What would that be? What would you like the kids to watch?
I'll shout out friend of the podcast, Sean Lynch's movie one more time. The ceremony is about to begin. Probably double check that, but I believe that's the title.
Okay.
He's got another found footage movie coming out soon. Go catch that too.
All right. Do you not know the name of that?
It's not out yet.
Okay. So it might even change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm at liberty to say it.
Cool, man.
Signed an NDA over here.
I'll go watch Rec. That's all I got. Rec's great.
Yeah.
I really liked Rec. There's a couple more of them. I need to. Any of these sequels, you really got to like
I-
look
I
up.
will
It's like,
also-
is this worth it? Like, a lot of people will have strong
Yeah.
opinions.
Well, and it got remade in the U.S. as
All I remember about
Quarantine.
Quarantine is like they clearly have the final shot of the movie in the trailer.
Oof.
Yeah, which is, I mean, you know what the shot's gonna be. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. It's just like, why I put that in
See,
the trailer?
that's so frustrating.
Unless that's how that movie secretly starts. And
I-
it's
I
just like
will-
a
I will
remake
tell you that
sequel.
my wife did not make that trailer.
I will say as like a sneak also suggestion too, because the closest thing I felt when watching this movie as a similarity was Ben Stiller's Reality Bites,
What
which
about-
was like that 90s.
made you think of this movie?
Yeah,
a movie that has no vampires in it.
but it has vampires.
It's called Reality
Oh.
Bites.
Oh,
Like, I'm sorry, but to have that not be a vampire film.
How did we miss that pun? That was solid.
But
This is also just a thing I thought my entire life. I assumed that movie was a vampire movie.
no, it's a 90s angsty. We don't know what they're doing
Yeah.
with our lives,
Some
and
real Gen X bullshit.
and this movie, like Blair Witch Project, also has that same.
It
You know,
does.
they got those thin ass eyebrows,
They're wearing flannels.
the flannels.
Yeah, man.
And that has a quirky character who's carrying around a high camera, and
It's true.
that footage does make its way into the movie. Anyway, that's all.
Just needs like 80 more pop culture references to be like, all they do is they mention Oz once.
Any places you guys want to be found or followed? You can follow me at Gavin V Murray on Instagram, and follow us at Still Good Pod, also on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm at Hold for Plane. Like I said, send us an email. You know, it's hard to tell because we don't always know when these episodes come out. So I don't know if my movie Fairyland will still be in theaters, but certainly give that a search and find out maybe.
Maybe it'll be on Canopy.
That Al Pacino movie, Billy Knight, I believe, is going to be touring around
On Canopy.
colleges. I don't know. There's movies that you could do research. Maybe we'll put a sticker or something in the show notes, or you could just stay at home.
I don't have anything to plug, so I'll just plug my good friend Paul Thomas Anderson's new movie. You should go check it out. It's quite good. One battle after another. Del Toro steals the show.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Well, thank you, Jeremy. It's been a real privilege, and just to get the preeminent Blair Witch expert in California.
Son of a bitch.
We really appreciate it. I see you've got your Blair Jordans on.
I do have the Blair Jordans on. Thank you for noticing. This little stick man on there.
That's so good. Cool.
All right, I'll let the
Podcast.
air horns take us out.
Hey everybody, filmmaker Sean Lynch here. My ranking of the VHS franchise. As of this recording, there are 8. Here's where my ranking stands right now. Coming in at number 8, bottom of the pack.
Your least favorite and mine, VHS Viral. Man, what is there to say about this one? Almost killed the franchise. Pretty lazy throughout. Best segment is Bone Storm. That is the Skater Punks versus Skeletons in Tijuana by Benson and Moorhead. It's a cool idea, having a skate video gone bad, and there's some fun skeleton shit, so sure, I'll take it. Number 7, VHS Beyond. How to describe this? They call it sort of the sci-fi tinged one. Your mileage may vary with these Shudder ones, these later ones, but to me, these segments just weren't as memorable. My favorite segment, Live and Let Dive by Justin Martinez. This is the skydiving video that is interrupted by an alien invasion. It's a cool idea, executed very, very well by Justin Martinez. VHS 85 is my number 6. This is, an 80s one. Best segment, I think, for me, there's a couple good ones, but Gigi Saul Guerrero's God of Death. I like that it takes a real historical disaster and gives it kind of this supernatural horror flavor. Okay, now this is where my ranking gets a little bit tricky. I'd say coming in number 5, VHS 94. I think a lot of people have this one higher because of the first and best segment, Storm Drain by Chloe Okuno. That's the Rotmo one. Amazing segment. One of the best segments of the whole series. The rest of this just isn't quite as memorable for me, and that's kind of the issue with some of these, is I just don't quite remember the segments. It doesn't help that I kind of just only seen one of these. I've kind of only seen these like once upon their release, and with a few exceptions, I haven't really revisited them. Number 4, VHS 99. Pretty close with 94, but I'm a little bit biased on this one, guys. There are some people who I really admire who worked on this one. My favorite segment is Tyler McIntyre's The Gawkers. This seems to not be a favorite of many people online, but guys, Emily Sweet, one of our premier Scream Queens, plays a Medusa in this one and lays waste to some real gross dudes. I think it gets the late 90s vibes right. Yes, the characters are disgusting, which is a theme that's recurring in the VHS franchise. I think it's a very strong segment and underrated. Number 3. This is where I might ruffle some feathers, guys. VHS 2. Yes, VHS 2. Again, extremely strong segment in this one. The best segment of this one, the best segment of the whole series. Yep, it's Safe Haven by Timo and Gareth Evans. It's an amazing segment. If you watch any of this stuff, just watch that segment. It's a half hour long. It's the longest segment, but pretty incredible. I think a lot of people put VHS 2 as their favorite on the strength of that segment. But you got to look at these things holistically, guys. There's some not as great stuff in there, but still top tier VHS. Okay, now we're getting into the top 2 here, and this was hard, but my number 2 is actually the most recent one, VHS Halloween. Guys, there's not a bad one in the bunch here. I think that the first 2 segments aren't quite as strong, but man, we're talking fun size, kid print, home sweet haunt. Those back 3 are really strong. Some of the best ones in the franchise. It's hard to pick a favorite of those, so I guess I'll give the advantage to Home Sweet Haunt by Micheline Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman. Just a cool idea. A home haunt gone wrong, which is just executed super well. And to my surprise, my number 1 favorite is the original VHS. I gotta say, when I saw this the first time, I was so annoyed by the wraparound segment and just how vile those characters are. I didn't think that the wraparound should also be found footage, but over the years, I've really come to appreciate this as sort of a time capsule, flaws and all. The best segment is probably Amateur Night by David Bruckner. It got its own spin-off. But an honorable mention to Ty West's Second Honeymoon. That's right, Ty West has a segment in here, and I think it's just, there's something about that first VHS that feels very dangerous, very anything could happen. Like you really are finding these VHS tapes. The newer, slicker ones are more fun, and I feel like they're not quite as vile as this first entry. Yeah, when I think VHS, I really do think of the original. So, enjoy. And hey, you know what VHS hasn't covered is mummies. So if you want to watch a found footage mummy movie, you can check out The Ceremony is About to Begin, my film, on Tubi or wherever your micro-budget horrors are sold. That's my plug. I'm Sean Lynch. Yep,